Hello and welcome to today's June 17th stimulus package update. If you're a subscribed member of my community, thanks for coming back. And if you're not, subscribe right now so I can keep you updated and share other smart money tips. I want to apologize for the late stimulus update. I don't know if you know this, but I still run my financial business and my coaching business during the day, so it's hard to always break away from that to do an update, but I do want to be here for you and share some information with you. So I apologize for my busy schedule, but I'm here now. Okay, there seems to be some fighting happening between the White House and the Senate. The White House didn't exactly tell the Senate that they were thinking of a $2 trillion stimulus package. So many Senate leaders found out about the doubled price tag at the same time that the public was finding out. Mitch McConnell is now reacting to the White House by saying maybe the Senate could go bigger, but it would like to see the $1 trillion infrastructure portion come down closer to about $300 billion. The White House has said that it is in deep discussion with congressional leaders about the infrastructure portion because they believe that it is the fastest way to lower the unemployment to under 10%. There is also fighting happening between the Democrats and the U.S. Treasury. Now, the U.S. Treasury wants to keep the names of the businesses that received PPP loans private, while Democrats, specifically Nancy Pelosi, is pushing for this information to become public. Marco Rubio, who heads the committee, said that the small businesses will have their information kept private, while larger companies that took larger amounts of money will have their names and the amount disclosed. I don't think it's a bad thing for these larger companies to have their information shared. After all, it has now come to light that 4 members of Congress applied for the PPP money while having large net worths. So they will have to prove that their business was impacted and had a need, or else they will have to return taxpayer money. A community member asked me, why are some people getting a second stimulus check and some are not? I don't think that anybody has gotten a second stimulus check. What you're probably hearing is that certain states or cities have been handing out additional money to certain demographics or income levels that the city feels have been overlooked or hurt on a deeper level than other income levels. So it's just cities and private organizations. I'm hoping that your city will do something. So look up your zip code and type in assistance programs or city stimulus to get an idea of whether your city has money in their budget to help you. Okay, if you didn't see my video from yesterday, check it out. I discussed the 4 different ways that the economy might recover after economic hardship. Jerome Powell recently testified that about the conditions of the economy. He told Congress not to pull back on stimulus efforts, but then he went on to say that it is beyond his capacity to tell Congress how to run the country. I love that Jerome Powell continues to fight for the American people. I don't believe that Jerome Powell sees a V-shaped recovery at this point. I think that he is hoping for a U-shaped recovery, but knows that that will be impossible without additional stimulus. Yesterday, I mentioned that the EIDL program for business owners has reopened and that I would be trying to get a loan for my business. Many of you asked questions about that. You can, if you have a business and a tax ID number, you can go to sba.gov and apply. It took me about 15 minutes to fill out my application and submit my tax information. I am now personally waiting on an SBA loan officer to reach out to me for additional information and to see if I get approved. Okay, I've been asked many times, please share your thoughts about the $4,000 travel credit. First of all, I think it's a terrible substitute for just getting money to the people. However, from an economic perspective, I can see why they might be wanting to push that. So let me try to explain that as simply as I can. And please don't roast me in the comments. I'm just trying to help you maybe understand this. It doesn't mean that I agree with it. Okay, so you and I might not be able to afford a vacation this year or maybe even next year, but there are people who can. And honestly, if they can, you and I want them to go on vacation and we want them to spend money. So let's say that you're still employed. Someone comes on vacation, they take money out of their pocket and they spend that. When they buy food from the restaurant makes money, and then that restaurant can pay their employee. Their employee then takes their paycheck and their tips and they go buy groceries and pay rent and other bills. The landlord then turns around and pays his or her rent, and any money that's left over, they go buy some of the things that they need. Maybe they buy groceries and now the person at the grocery store is able to get a paycheck. Or maybe they go do repairs and have to spend money at the hardware store. Either way, the money that was spent on that vacation starts to make its way out into the economy in a dozen different directions. The point is, you and I might not take a vacation, but those that do will put money into the economy, and money flowing through the economy eventually gets to you and I, right? So maybe they go spend money at Marriott, and then someone at Marriott comes to me and says, I need life insurance or I need financial coaching. And then I use that and I go buy groceries or buy my kid a basketball or a new shirt or something. So I hope that makes sense. They're trying to entice people that have money to spend that money, but you and I may not be able to take a vacation. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. You know, I just want to break from this for a minute and just tell you that I know how many people in the community are struggling. I worry for you. I worry for our country. Some of you are watching this from your home. Some of you are watching this in your car. Some of you are watching my update in a homeless shelter. This is heavy stuff. This is why I try to put a smile on my face. This is why I try to occasionally slip in a joke or share some words of encouragement. This is why I wrote a letter to Congress and President Trump and shared it with you. This is why I try calling senators to try to get them on the phone. I just want you to know that you're not crazy for feeling like this is hard and heavy. It is. So I wish I could make the government do the right thing, but I can't. So the best that I can do is to be here for you and share this information with you. And keep in mind that there is a lot of information coming in, and be careful of reading old articles. Yesterday I had 5 or 6 of you send me an article that there will be no second stimulus, and then when I look at the date, it's from early May. Okay, we're in the middle of June now. Information is changing every single day, and I'm doing my best to help the community see those changes, positive or negative, and filter them and then help explain them in simple terms. It's tedious work, and most of it is disappointing to read. And so anyway, I'm just trying to help as best as I can. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you letting me come into your home through your computer or through your smartphone each day. My wife and I talk about our community every single day. She tries to do an inspiring quote or something funny to help you guys every single day. We're just so grateful that you're in our community. We hope that you find this information helpful. And just remember that when things seem really hard, that you are amazing. And I know that that doesn't pay your bills, but I truly believe that if you and I met, I would walk away from our conversation telling my wife, hey, that person's amazing. So just don't forget it. I know that this is heavy stuff. Anyway, I appreciate you being in my community, and I will see you on the next video.